Okay, I'm not even sure if I know what is going on for this week's message, but let's just get right into it for the week beginning July 9th, 2018. Hello everyone, thank you for being here. This is Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and again, this is the angelic message for the week beginning July 9th, 2018. As always, I'm gonna jump right in. Okay, so we have more precision. Bring your knowledge into practice. It is not enough to escape, for if you do, you are not fulfilling your agreement. There will be time for flight at a later time. So this is, we give these as a weekly update, but it's not just like, okay, this only pertains to this week. It's like, okay, now you're ready to hear this part of the message. Okay, so this builds upon everything else that's come before. And if you're just joining the channel, hello and welcome. You might want to go back and look at some of the previous week's messages, okay? Because they're building one upon the other. All right, so again, this is talking about integration. This is saying you can't just escape, right? And this is going to be a tough one for some people because I think there's going to be some practices that people engage in where, now you're starting to discover, ooh, this wasn't exactly on, or this isn't in alignment with how I believe anymore. So take it easy on yourselves if that starts to happen. It doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. Certainly doesn't mean that you've wasted any time. It means that you are, for a lot of you, getting on to the next chapter of whatever it is that you're supposed to learn. It's a part of the process, okay? But just make sure that we are, again, being very, very balanced. Okay, what will help each of you? You already know. It is love, but will you hear us, right? Because that seems like a cop-out answer. Oh, the answer is love. We hear it in all the songs, right? But we know that people misuse love. We know people use it as a weapon sometimes. We know that people will, hold it over somebody, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could get into a whole discussion about that, but, withdrawing love from somebody, or sometimes we think that if we don't have a love partner, then, love isn't for us. What they're talking about here is discovering that love, you are of love. It's already there. Letting that be activated within you. Again, that might make people roll their eyes, but how many times can we say it before we start doing it, right? So this can be in part with getting into alignment with spending that quiet time every day. I tell people all the time, make sure you have sacred morning time, which is to say you get up and you make sure you're practicing gratitude, whatever you can find that you're happy about, cool, okay? Even if you have a huge day of work ahead of you, what a great opportunity for me to express in this world through my work. If you hate your job, okay, well, you need to work on that, right? So just find any source of love that you can. I wake up and I love my bed. I'm not going to lie. I love that, you'll probably hear them here in the video. I love that there's a little family of birds out on my balcony, and they had 4 babies this year. I love it. Every morning I get up and I come out and I check on them, from inside. I just see what they're doing and what's going on out there. But just find anything to kind of get you into that alignment with love. Does this mean that you only walk through denying shadow? Of course not. But can you be of your opinions and respect another? Or will you find any excuse to have a war? It's not enough to just go around going, we're one, we're one, we're one. And then you start debating somebody and saying, no, your opinion is wrong. Their opinion can't be wrong, okay? It's their opinion. It's how they feel. But this is what a lot of people are doing. Or I'm better because I live this way and I do this and I do that and I don't believe in this and I don't believe in that. Therefore, I'm a good example to you. You should live the way that I live. This is not it, people. It is so far off the mark. And, I think a lot of us, it's not like we're going to be punished and we're going to be up against all these hardships because, we didn't see the way in time. And so now we're getting cracked up over it. But it's not about being punished. It's about going, all right, well, if that's how you live, that's cool. This is what I do. If ever you're interested in knowing about that, I'll tell you. All right. But especially this, we got to work on this mentality. Well, it's a mentality. It's a bigger energy than a mentality. But this, I know better than you, and I'm going to tell you how to do things, or I'm going to educate you. Careful with that. Careful with that. That's diminishing another person's experience. And if somebody has questions and they want to be educated, then you're sharing, okay? You're sharing who you are, you're sharing your experiences, and maybe that will open up their perspective a little bit if they want it to be open. But if people don't ask for it, keep to your business. Worry about, loving one another and letting people just, do their thing. And that's going to be controversial because this is exactly what the whole point of this message is this week. People will always find something to fight over, okay? That's not correct. It's this. Watch how many people get triggered, just in your day-to-day life. If you say, hey, I believe in this or I believe in that, watch how many people come forward and be like, you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't. Here's what I do and you could learn from me. This is what they're talking about. Okay? We're not going to get anywhere if we keep spinning our wheels like that. You will you will come to this understanding in record time. So that's where we do have, again, it's not a punishment, but that's where we do have these events or whatever where people have no choice but to lay down what their petty arguments are, okay? Or maybe they're not petty arguments. Maybe, it's like real life stuff that you're very concerned about. But still, when something big is going on, everybody lets all that go. And now we really are connected, okay? So there could be things kind of happening that affects all of us. Please, I think I've said this 3 or 4 times now. It's not a punishment, okay? It's meant to create an awareness. All right, integrate and watch your spiritual paths. Do they serve in love and wisdom, or do they simply provide comfort? It is not enough then. If the answer is it provides me comfort, that's not enough, okay? You can't just go hide behind a belief system, okay? A lot of us do that. We want to feel like we're part of something. We talk about tribal nature. We want to feel like we're with our people, and, we want to... I don't know, I'm getting a message now that some people don't want to stand out because they don't feel like it's safe to stand out. And so they will morph themselves so that they belong. And that's not maybe going to be healthy after a while, I'm feeling. Each individual is different, but I think they're also saying just, be careful what you're getting involved in. And making sure that whatever your practices are, that they are in fact helping your spirit and not just feeding into a division tactic. Okay? All right, where were we? It is not enough then. For this time, we invite you to sit in heart alignment and page turn and contemplation. You are of varied energies in your world. Okay, and this is the part that I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Did I just hear that correctly? Buckle up, okay? Because some of you are going to be like, oh, what? In your world, let me start that over. You are of varied energies in your world, and serpents and scaled ones are among you. Okay. I try to be here for y'all, but sometimes, I have my things too, right? So I'm like, what? You needn't fear. So they followed up immediately with, you needn't fear, but you must remain alert. Now, please understand that when we are channeling these angelic messages, it is coming through in the way that humans are going to understand. That's my job. My job is an interpreter, okay? So sometimes I hear it, and sometimes I feel it, or I'll see it, or, You might just know it. In this case, I heard them say it, and then I got a feeling, and I checked with them. You really want me to put it that way? But here's why. People might argue, angels don't talk that way. Angels are incredibly intelligent, okay? And they know how a word is going to land on the people who are watching this, okay? So this was done very purposefully, okay? This might not be exactly like if you were just to give, let's say we weren't trying to get a message through to anybody and they were just kind of talking, they probably wouldn't have said scaled ones, okay? But this is the way it could get through to each and every one of you. Now, does that mean it's metaphorical? Could be. That's usually how I take things, that it's a metaphor, okay? Because we have associations, right? So there are people who are, and we talk about this all the time too. I've been saying this every week. I keep repeating myself, but it's a lot of stuff that just keeps resurfacing. There are people who are being used as vehicles, unbeknownst to them perhaps, for different energies. And unfortunately, it feels like they're getting some traction. Yes? This is where people start to randomly be, we'll use the word rude as a perfect example of this. That was rude and odd. It just seems like, why are you saying that? That really is not based in any sort of reality. What possessed you to say that? And there's the key. What possessed you? Okay. Now, this is not a new thing. If you're sitting going, wait, I'm so scared. Darling, you've been able to handle it your whole life because it's been here your whole life, so you're fine, okay? And it even says here, you needn't fear, but you must remain alert. And I feel like this is more of like a wake-up call. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, quit making excuses for people who have bad behavior. Love and compassion, okay? But there's got to be that moment there where you just stop and think about it for a second. Feel it out. Use your heart brain, okay? And the brain that's in your gut to feel it out. Like, you might come across somebody who might be acting out in a pretty big way, and on the surface it might be easy to go, wow, that person's crazy. But if you plug in, you might be like, oh, that's PTSD. Uh-oh, okay. Well, I don't have to give into it and try to coddle this person, but let me give them some space, and I'll hold space over here, and let's see how this goes. That is starkly different than somebody who like I said, they're just kind of rude and they're just doing anything they can to throw their power over you. Because a lot of us, we talk about this all the time too, a lot of us are conditioned to let it go, let it go, let it go. Energetically, yeah, don't let it hang in there, because then, that's going to attract negativity, right? But the alertness, recognizing it, acknowledging it, don't make excuses for it, and don't play along with it. Don't play along with it. Okay? You'll know because it just feels strange. Whatever happens, whatever they do, whatever they say, they always kind of don't fit in. Okay? So that's not to say that this is bad across the board. It's just an awareness. Cool? I just felt a bunch of people. I won't edit that out. I know I'm just staring into the camera, but I felt people going, oh, thank God you're talking about this. Thank God you're calling it what it is. Okay? But that's just one piece of it, is what I'm feeling. Okay? It's not the whole thing. But as they go on, well, let me pick up my little notebook again. All right. It is not enough to see these energies expressing, but to watch responses to them, which is what we were talking about as well. You needn't go far in understanding. We don't need to knock ourselves out here, okay? Piece by piece, right? You will not know everything, but take this piece for now with all love, good, and end. I don't know. Like I said, it was kind of a weird, weird wording and weird stuff coming through, but what can I tell you guys? Just try to remain open and aware, and be open and aware about your own behaviors. Be willing to say, you know what, yeah, I overreacted in that situation. Or, I don't know, just make sure you really understand a situation before you get involved too. That's the other thing. A lot of times we'll pick sides on stuff, and then later on have something come out, new information come out, and we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know about that. So on and so on. So let's just get on to the cards and let's see if we can get some clarification. Okay, so the cards are all cleansed and cleared, ready to go, but I wanted to take a moment here to explain a few changes to you guys. So first and foremost, personal readings, angelsouls444.com, the services page. That's how you get a personal reading with me. I'm still running ahead of schedule. So if you want to try to hop into line, at least for now, again, that could change if 20 people get in line all at the same time. But, right now I'm running ahead of schedule. The other thing I thought I could maybe try, it's just a trial period, okay? I will post, at least for August 2018, okay, just hang with me here, card readings for earth, air, fire, water signs, okay? So I will have them over at Gumroad for August 2018. I'm going to be watching closely. I'm going to be looking at, who has showed interest. This is not something I'm going to do maybe forever, but just want to test it out a little bit. Also, please remember that isn't really supposed to be a substitute for personal readings. They're still going to be general, but if you want a personal reading, we gave you that information. Also over at Gumroad, tons of courses, meditations. I'm going to be doing another good night sleepy time meditation, just a little quick one. Hopefully we'll be getting all that up very, very soon. So go check out Gumroad. I'm Angel Souls on Gumroad. And again, thank you to everybody who supports me and the work that I do on this channel by contributing on Patreon. Again, I am Angel Souls on Patreon. So thank you for hanging out with me while I gave you all the announcements. What are we doing? I guess we're doing, okay. I guess we're doing the color deck. I always put the information down below for what decks I'm using. Let's see if we can get clarity on what is happening here. Don't be surprised this week if some more mainstream information about those beings that we were just talking about doesn't come through. It may not be called what you would think that it would be called, but you're going to see it become, let me put it this way, the mask is going to slip. The mask is going to slip. And again, you'll know what we're talking about when people don't seem to have any empathy, when they want to start trouble. And I'm not talking about somebody who's like, hey, I'm in pain or I'm upset and I want to talk about this, right? It's not that. This is like they're purposely just trying to start something, to upset people or to drag them down. So be mindful and aware of that. Right. Okay. Let's just do this. Oh, as your protect yourself, I'm going to just pull them. I just feel like I need to get the whole story here before I hold them up. Rose, attract a relationship. Purple, developmental clarity. And scarlet, attract success. So this doesn't have to be a bad thing, but for a lot of you guys, talking on an individual level, things might be breaking down this week, but it doesn't, not for everybody, it doesn't feel like it's such a bad thing, So if you're like, someone out there is going to get a severance package, and I don't think that these people don't get actually fired, like, oh, you did a bad job, you get fired. This is more like the companies are merging. This whole department is now going to get, eliminated. Here's a little chunk of money. I know for some people that might sound really, really scary, but somebody out there's going to be like, yes, and like doing a high kick and be like, now I have money to go off and start that business that I wanted to start. So it's not bad for everybody, but there is a little bit of like, kind of tearing down the old stuff so something else can come through. I want to, again, before I hold up the cards here, I want to give the full picture. Before any of that can happen, there's something that has to come to light in your own brain, right? And this is going to be different for everybody. I can't stay here all day. And but anyway, let's just get into it. All right. So as your protect yourself, the number is 36. I offer the number just in case it has extra meaning for you. But the sun will rise. Look at the sun on that card. We were talking with the auto write about some of the energies that are out there, and it's time to not just go along with that conditioning of, oh, let it go. Don't let it get to you, because again, it gets into sort of a sophomoric way of looking at spirituality. I don't let it get to me. I don't take on negativity. I have to cleanse myself of negativity. True, it's all true, but you're when you do that and you kind of disconnect, and we talked before, or did we? I don't remember. I think we've talked about this before, but when you disconnect from being human, you're not pulling your weight. You know what I'm saying? And then it's down to other people to be like, hey, anybody seeing this over here? Hello, we got to work on this. And everybody's like, oh my God, you're all negative. And then they go in hiding again. And then everybody else has to clean up the mess, or the person who speaks up about it ends up getting punished. So protect yourselves against negativity, but know that you're strong enough to look at it and get real with it. Real talk, okay? If we're going to have a theme for this week, real period talk period. Thank you. Okay, rose is the next card. Roses are a sign of blessings. Okay, this is how the angels, actually Archangel Barachiel, he'll leave rose petals for you to let you know that you have blessings on the way. The scent of rose, people are usually down on it. Oh, it smells like my grandma. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with grandma and grandma's house? I mean, come on, that's cozy for some of us. But, I think with the rose, this is such a high frequency scent. So if you have rose essential oil, get it on out. No problem there. This is attract a relationship. So blessings through a relationship. Make sure you have a good relationship with yourself first. Could this mean love? Heck yeah, it could be love. Of course. I do believe in love, for those of you who think I'm a total skeptic about that. But the number on here is 6, if that has any meaning for you. But blessings in disguise. Something that comes up is actually more of a protection than you realize. For some of you, this could be you're finally walking away from a bad relationship, a bad partnership, and maybe your heart is broken, but then I need to work on how I feel about me, right? I need to let blessings come in for me. Because someone out there, or a few people out there, you're in friendships, you're in romantic partnerships where they're that kind of energy that we were talking about from the auto right. It's not nice, okay? And they're doing everything they can to tear you down, to make you feel like you don't deserve, okay? We're calling that nonsense out. If I showed up on this planet with any talent, it is to be feisty. It is to be sassy. And it is to be fearless and unapologetic about those things, okay? So, again, go back and watch some of my videos. You can say it like it is. All right. Again, you want to be empathetic to what somebody might really be going through. Don't forget that part of the message too. Tuning in and kind of assessing the situation, going, okay, is this really one of those things where this person has no empathy and I've taken enough off of them and I'm just going to stand my ground, healthy boundaries, okay, healthy boundaries, and then I'm going to walk away from it? Or is this a person who's just genuinely in pain and maybe they're acting out, but they're not a bad person, okay? We have to get better at knowing what the difference is, okay? And that's where this comes in. So we have purple, developmental clarity. The number is 39. There it is. Coming out of the darkness. And you can even see this is almost like the light within. So it is plugging into that ability to really understand another person and not just jump to conclusions. Oh, they're such a sweetheart. Oh my gosh, don't say anything bad about them. They're such a sweetheart. Well, maybe, and if you're an empathetic person, if you're an empath, right, where you can kind of get a sense of who people really are, you might be that lone wolf who's going, they're going to steal your boyfriend. That person's using you. All right. And, so really start to, every situation is going to be different. And even with one individual, there are going to be chapters with that individual and things are going to be shifting. And, just make sure that you are plugged in, tuned in. The only way you can do that is by taking care. Oh, we got another good message coming through. Taking care of yourself is what I was going to say. So here's something coming through. A lot of power, a lot of inner power. Now, this doesn't mean when people are like, oh, I knew my inner power was there and I just want to talk about it all the time. And it's not that. This is like something that's silent. It's something big though. And it awakens within us and it kind of lets that light shine up. And that light is very much, it's big compared to the ego. Okay? And you'll have people who have that kind of scaly energy. And that's just how I'm going to put it. Okay? I'm not, yeah. So anyway, people who have that kind of energy, they're going to come out and they'll be like, oh my God, you're so egotistical. And maybe you're not even doing anything. You can just be sitting on a bench eating an ice cream cone. And they're like, oh my God, you're so angry. Remember what we said, when it seems strange, assess it. You don't have to do whatever you feel is appropriate in that moment, but definitely don't just look away and be like, whatever. Remember the days of whatever? Yeah, it's been going on for a very, very long time. No more dismissing. Get very clear about what you're actually witnessing, and give this moment for this light to come on out. The physical is changing as well, physical bodies. So things that were once a problem, or maybe even for you as an individual, that was a problem, health-wise, watch for things to start kind of easing out. Something that you were frightened of is suddenly no longer there. Now, I don't want to instill false hope. If somebody out there is struggling with a very serious illness, you are on your path, okay? You have your soul's contract. So, and again, this is a general reading, so I can't really plug into everybody's stuff here, but because that's the biggest thing where people are like, no, I tried that and it didn't work. I still have this. Well, it depends on what you agreed to experience before you got in here, okay? But for others, because that light is kind of filling up into our physicality, right? It's the light coming on up to the surface there with these blessings. And this is very heavenly. Oh my gosh, I almost can't even take it. That explains, oh my God. Oh, I get it. Okay, so that explains why there's like rumblings of, if you want to call it, not that we need to be divided, but like that sort of lower energy, why that starts kind of rearing its head a little bit, and has been, right? It's not liking this. It doesn't like that we're getting traction with our happiness. It doesn't like that we're getting traction with being peaceful and loving, because then they don't have anything to feed off of. And if they don't have anything to feed off of, and it's interesting too, because it gets very, very complicated. All right, it does get complicated because people get confused. They get confused with what is calling something out, right, and saying, no, I'm not going to accept that. That's absolutely not true. You're just trying to drag me down. And what is feeding it? Do you know what I'm saying? So, do people accuse you of giving into negativity because you set a healthy boundary? Don't listen to that person, okay? That person might be on autopilot. They might be just giving into their conditioning. They don't have mental clarity. They're not really seeing it for what it is. They're just on like auto response. Oh, you're supposed to just ignore it, right? I'm sorry about the long-winded. No, I'm not sorry. Forget it. I take that back. I'm not sorry. This is what I do. This is my job. I'm doing my job. Okay, thank you. So they're saying watch the pretend wisdom. Just remember that person does not have their life figured out either. Okay, so watch that, because I know what it does is it instills doubt in people. Okay, and when you're in doubt, you're in low frequency. You're not taking informed action for yourself. You're not taking inspired action. Oh, I can't, right? That's where people start getting into that thing of I can't. There's all this different kind of conditioning going on. A little bit too much to get into here. We've already been going on for quite a bit. But we have Scarlet, attract success. The number is 7. So if you listen to what we're saying here, you don't dismiss it. It mostly resonated with me. Actually, I was doing personal readings this week, and I'm now warning people, don't do that. Especially if you get a personal reading, don't sit there and go, well, it mostly resonated. No, it was all for you. It's your personal reading. Go back because you missed something. All right. And I always say that to her because I don't want them to be resisting anything that comes up in a personal reading, because usually that's where the breakthroughs are. And if you're going to have success, we can't be in denial. Okay. Now we're all in denial in some way or another, because you can't you can't always figure things out about you. You get numb to you, right? But this is saying, if you lay down what you think was, if you start letting that mental clarity give you that perspective, okay, you know what? I can say what I have to say. All right, well, I used to not like that person. They used to freak me out, and now I'm feeling a little more empathetic towards them. Now I kind of get it. There's a lot of knowledge coming up, okay? A lot of knowledge that's going to feed your understanding, unless you hunker down and you say, no, I'm not going to change, then it's not going to happen for you. Or, I don't know what you're talking about, Michelle, because you can't follow it or you're not following it. It's okay. It might just mean that, you're not in the space right now. But that doesn't mean that this message doesn't pertain to you. It just means that you're going to have a different experience in this coming week. Okay? You'll get there. You'll get there. But I don't know in what way it's going to come to you. So, let's get a crystal card. It's on the floor. Hold on. What are you? Oh, aquamarine. What am I wearing? Are these aquamarine? I can't see. No, they're not aquamarine. This is Amazonite, I think is what I'm wearing. Anyway, I thought about wearing aquamarine. That's interesting. So communication, it's everything that we've just been saying. Work on the throat chakra. Speak up for yourself. Don't let other people say that you can't have your say because it's somehow bad if you do. It somehow means that you're less spiritual. It somehow means that you are not rising above. Remember, the people who are of that practice, they're going to realize, oh, oops, I got to go back and redo a couple of chapters because I overlooked something that I came here to do because I was trying to act like I was above it all, right? Also, this is kind of the guise that some of these lower frequencies will use to get people, to get them doubting, to get them feeling bad about themselves. Oh, you're right. I that was so out of line for me to say, stop talking to me that way. I mean, I saw it as disrespectful, but you're right. I should just really just let it go. I should just rise above. They're tricky, okay? They're tricky. In psychology, sociopaths will, it's my understanding, will kind of study people's movements and what they say and what they do. They'll study it to the point of it being an art, so that they really look like they know what they're talking about, so that they really look like they're connected in, and they're not. Okay, well, how the heck do we figure our way around that? You use the heart brain and the gut brain, okay? And align it with this brain and work it out. And again, P.S., so I don't get in trouble, I am not a psychotherapist. I am not a mental health care practitioner. Gotta say that every stinking time. But, just, these things are kind of in... It's coming through our science even. It's already there, right? So communication, standing up for yourself, saying what you want. Saying what you want to the universe. Here, these two cards go together very, very well. So communicating with the universe, all right? That's how you're going to attract success. You can't just put it out there and be wishy-washy about, what I mean by wishy-washy, it doesn't mean that you can sit there and, get so detailed that you're too narrowly focused that now you're not really manifesting what's good for you. Perhaps you got to give the universe a little bit of room to help you out with what the options are. What I mean about being wishy-washy is you don't want your heart saying one thing and your brain is saying another. Make sure you're in alignment with yourself before you put it out to the universe. And then if you're able to do that, you're able to work that balance, you're going to see a lot of good things reflected back to you. Okay. So we're going to end it there. Have a good week, guys. I am now going to start recording for the various signs, and I'll get that stuff up at Gumroad for you shortly. So love to you all. Take care.